The simplest way to change the way you feel is to change the way that you move, your body language. Welcome back to Mindset Monday. We are Gene Zanetti, your coast-to-coast mindset coaches from Winning Mindset. So the simplest way to change the way you think or feel is to change the way you move, to change the way you carry yourself, to change your body language. Every coach speaks about how important body language is. It's important for practice, it's important for competition, it's important for a job interview, for school, and for life. And why? Because the way you carry your body is going to impact your thoughts and your emotions. The way you carry your body is going to impact your thoughts and your emotions. So what does that mean? It's going to have an impact on your outcome. Also, as a side benefit, this isn't the main focus, but the side benefit is when you control your body language, you're taken more serious by other people and you win the psychological battle against your opponents. That's not the main reason why we do it. The main reason why we control our body language is to make sure that we're focused on ourselves. So we begin to feel good. So we begin to act more confident, to feel more confident, to think more confident thoughts. It's not about other people, but that is a nice little side benefit there. So let's talk about practice. And we're even in the middle of sprints, weightlifting, whatever it is. My college coach, Zeke Jones, world champion, Olympic silver medalist, always used to say to us, be tired, but don't look tired. So what does that mean? In between lifting weights, you're not sitting down. You're not leaning up against the wall. In practice, if coach is showing technique, you take a knee or you're sitting. You don't lean back on your hands. As basic as that seems, it's helping you build discipline. You're building a virtue. Okay, so making sure that even in practice, you don't act tired even if you are tired. In between running sprints, stand tall. Stand tall. Even though we know you're tired, it's tough, right? If you're working hard, you're going to feel real tired. But get in the habit of not acting tired. And what's going to happen is you're going to get more out of yourself because you're going to feel more awake. You're going to be more ready to go. And also, you win that, like I said, this is not what we're focusing on, but you win the psychological battle against your opponent. And even people in practice, when they see that you personally are not tired, you don't look tired, they feel tired, you don't look tired. So you win the psychological battle. Like I said, that's not the main reason why we do it, but it's an added benefit. So in practice, always look alive. Always look alive. God bless you. Now let's think about a competition. Competition, you always want to hustle. You want to have bounce in your step. You want to have pop in your attacks. So in baseball, I think about Pete Rose. If you walk 4 balls, you walk, run down to first base. Don't just move on over there in a nice slow manner. No, make sure you're running down to first base. At least jog, right? In baseball, in between innings, make sure you run on and off the field. Football, in between offense and defense, run down, run in and out, hustle, have bounce in your step, pop in your attacks. In sports, if you go out of bounds, run back in bounds. Or even if you're not, you don't have to sprint back in, but look like you want to be there. Move with a purpose. Okay, that's an important thing. So make sure you move with a purpose when you're competing in sports. Have your head up. In almost all areas of sports, in almost all techniques, head up is good technique. So keep your head up and move around with your head up. Even when you're walking around the streets, even when I found a lot of times my head's down, I'll bump into things. Bad technique. You have no one to blame but yourself. Keep your head up. It's more confident. Look people in the eye. Don't walk with your head down. Get in the habit of looking up. Your eyes should be looking up or slightly above the horizon. Eyes always looking up. It's going to do several things. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to think more confident thoughts. You're going to carry yourself with greater dignity. Also, it's better for your mobility. When we're always arched over, driving our car, on our phone, our shoulders keep going forward. That's going to throw your body out of alignment. If you're walking with your head up, it's going to keep your body in a better, more stable, more mobile, just more anatomically correct position. Okay, so keep that head up at all times. Like I said, move with a purpose. Move like you want to be there. Even when we enter the arena, my coach always used to say, when you walk into a gym, you walk in there like you own it. And he didn't mean cocky or arrogant, but he meant move with a purpose. So I think about moving around at home. When you're in the comfort of your own home, no one navigates through their own home without confidence, unconfidently. In other words, when we're at home, I'm going to the kitchen, I'm going outside, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going to my office. We move with a greater confidence and decisiveness. So you want to have decisiveness in your step. Confident people tend to move at a brisk pace. Not rushing, not moving out of control, not overly slow, but they know where they want to go and they get there. So they move with purpose. So get in the habit of moving with purpose. Navigate through your home, the competition site, in competition, anywhere with confidence. So you know where you're going. Okay? Social situation. We're in a social situation. What we tend to do when we don't feel confident, we tend to cross our arms. We tend to hold our hands together. We tend to cross our legs. We do those kind of things. They don't look very confident. Positive alpha body language is open. Okay, so my legs are uncrossed. My hands, if anything, my hands are down by my side, or your hands are on your hips. Your hands on your hips, that's a sign of being a high achiever or a real go-getter. If you have to touch your hands, go with the steeple. The steeple looks more confident. So you can steeple your hands, but really, hands on your hips. I don't like hands in the pockets. Hands in the pockets looks very unsure of ourselves. If our hands are in our pockets, if our hand has to be in our pocket, pop your thumb. That looks a lot more confident. Just look at pictures of people when their hands are in their pocket all the way. Doesn't look confident. They pop their thumb. It does look a little more confident. Or thumb in the pocket, hand out. In other words, we're also perceived as being more trustworthy and more honest if our hands are open. Okay, in other words, we're exposed. We're not hiding anything. We're not holding something in our pocket. Our hands are out. So we're perceived as more trustworthy and it feels more confident. So get your hands out of your pockets. Also, when we get nervous, we tend to engage in self-touching behaviors. So a lot of times we'll start going to our hair. When we get nervous, put our hands to our head. We start touching our nose. We start touching our body. Our hands, we start moving our hands around. Stay still. Get in the habit of staying still. I have an itch on my nose. That's why I keep going my nose. But that could also be, let's say, if we're not very confident, we're not sure of ourselves, maybe we're going to our nose out of fear, like protecting ourselves. So we do those self-touching behaviors because it's kind of a way that we unconsciously are protecting ourselves. Get in the habit of staying still. All right. A lot of times, maybe social situation, we tend to lean in when we talk to people. It's perceived as needy. It doesn't look confident, and it doesn't really change the acoustics that much. Like whether I'm back here or whether I'm moving forward, it doesn't really change that much. So get in the habit of standing tall, keep your mobility, and just talk louder, right? It doesn't change the acoustics whether I go here or there. Talk louder. Now, of course, there's exceptions to these kind of rules too. But for most of the time, stay up tall. Lean back or stay up tall. In school, maybe you're bored. Maybe you don't care about the information, but you know it's important to do well in school and you know you have to learn the information. So what do? Act like you want to be there. What does positive body language look like? Let's pretend you cared what was going on in class, okay? How would you look? Your eyes would be open. You'd probably lean a little more forward. You'd nod your head. Maybe your hand's on your chin. Maybe you're nodding, right? Something like that. It looks more positive body language. You'd have your pencil out. You'd be ready to take notes or your pen. So act the way that you want to feel in school, and you're going to start getting more interested. You'll realize you're going to automatically feel more interested when you act like you're interested. Okay? Again, you could look it up in dialectical behavioral therapy. They talk about acting the opposite way that you feel. This goes back to Ignatian spirituality, St. Ignatius of Loyola. You don't feel like praying, you pray anyway, right? You act the opposite way that you're going to feel. It helps you build virtue. And also, in psychology, it's called cognitive dissonance. If you start to act a certain way, you're going to want to be consistent with that action. So you're going to become more of what you're trying to be. Anyway, you don't have to know all those technical terms. Just throwing a few things out there for you because I know some of you are interested in more of the scientific reasons for why we talk about it. But we don't even have to get into that. The bottom line is if you change the way you move, you're going to change the way you feel and the way you think. And you're going to get that psychological edge on your opponent. Not that that's the main thing we're out to do. If you're in the middle of a competition and you're running back from being out of bounds, if you always look like there's bounce in your step, there's pop in your attack, you look like you want to be there, you look alive, that's going to weigh heavily on your opponent when they're getting tired. In fact, I've noticed that in New Jersey, the state tournament is back-to-back. In other words, the high school state tournament is one week, the middle school state tournament is the following week. And one of the things I noticed is that the middle school kids tend to have a lot better body language than the high school kids. They look like they want to be there. They look alive. They look excited. And that's an important thing to have because you need every advantage that you possibly can get, right? If you really want to maximize your potential, you need every advantage that you could get. And when you have that upbeat, positive body language, you're going to feel better. You're going to think more positive thoughts. Other people are going to take you more serious. You're going to win the psychological battle. It's going to give you that edge. So, bigger body language. Staying up tall, keeping your body in alignment, your eyes are up. Smile. That's a big thing. Smile. Confident people usually smile. And we're not saying like an arrogant smirk, but we're saying genuinely, smile. Feel good. That's a confident thing. Also, another thing, when we tend to be speaking to people, one of the things that we'll do, other than just fidgeting around, right? And that's what I say, hold yourself still. When in doubt, just stay still. But another thing that we tend to do is we tend to put up barriers in front of ourselves, whether it's putting our pen in front of us, putting our drink right in front of us. So we'll line up almost like a barrier between me and you. And it's important that we remove those barriers because, again, we're perceived as being more trustworthy and we're more open alpha body language. If we're holding a glass of water or whatever else you're drinking, right? Hopefully all positive stuff. You don't keep it up in front of you like this because you see how I'm putting a barrier between me and you? Hold the drink down by your side. You look much more confident and it's open body language. So any area of life, you could get an edge by just having upbeat, positive body language. Care about what you're doing. See, if you want to go inside out, care about what you're doing. Really want to be there. Be thankful for the opportunity to be in sports, to be in school, to be on the job interview, whatever it is. Be thankful to be alive. So when you're walking around, you are going to be more confident. Your body language is going to be stronger. So that's my recommendation. Practice your body language at least twice a week. Move around in your house, move around in your gym, act the way you want to behave during a competition. Act the way you want to behave before a competition. In other words, practice your body language. So you need to first know, what does confident body language look like? And we gave many illustrations of that just before. But then you're also going to want to take some time and practice it on your own. What does confident body language look like? How do you want to look when you're competing? And practice that body language. And even when you're in your actual practice for getting ready for competition, be tired but don't look tired. Hustle. Look alive. Look like you want to be there. Funny that during this video on body language, this guy fell asleep. But in this case, that's great body language. That's exactly what we wanted him to do. So keep working hard. Practice your body language. Practice your body language in practice also. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you more confident. And it's also going to win that psychological battle against your opponents. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast, Winning Mindset. We're constantly pumping out great free information. I get fired up because this is exactly what I needed back when I was competing. It's exactly what I need right now even. A lot of times I catch myself walking with my head down. You bump into things. It doesn't look as confident. It throws your body out of alignment. So we can all benefit from good, upbeat, positive body language, giving people a firm handshake, looking alive, looking like you want to be there. Mindset makes the difference. Take care. We'll see you next week. Mindset Monday.